everyone, and welcome to another episode of Super Sessions with SUEN, where our goal is to inspire, motivate, and empower you to always show up as the super version of yourselves. This session is our wealth session, and boy, aren't we excited to hear about everything that we need to do to get rich, right? Well, we have an amazing guest today. Her name is Dr. JOAN WRIGHT-GOOD'S. She wears many hats. I can't wait to get into it with her. But before we do, let us take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Do you have a story to share? Maybe an experience or information that can transform somebody's life? Maybe you want to grow your business by writing a book. JWG Publishing House has helped hundreds of authors to turn their dream into publishing reality. Publishing a book without the knowledge of the process can be very frustrating. Not to worry, our award-winning team will patiently walk you through the process, from idea to cover to the end product. And get this, you will own 100% of your royalties. We are the only authentic independent publisher you will ever need. So what are you waiting on? Call us today at 561-412-7772. We're waiting to serve you.
Welcome back, everyone, to Super Sessions with SUEN. Again, we are taking in our wealth session with Dr. JOAN WRIGHT-GOOD'S. This amazing powerhouse lady, she wears many hats. She is an international speaker, author. She's also a business coach and an entrepreneur. And we are happy to have her in our super seat today. Hello, Joan. She's also my very good friend.
Yes, we go way back.
Way, way back. So I am so excited to have her here. So Joan, can you tell us a bit about yourself? I know I said a lot, but do you want to add anything?
Well, sure. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your couch.
The super
Right?
seat.
The super couch. Thank you for having me, and thank you for those who are watching. As you said, I do wear many hats. I am a business coach. I'm a business owner, first of all. So if you have a business coach and they don't own a business, okay. So I own a couple of businesses, and with my business, I help entrepreneurs who have witty ideas to start businesses from any idea that can make money, right? Because the thing is, a lot of people have businesses, but not everybody's making money, right? So you can make money without having a business, but you shouldn't have a business that's not making money. That don't make any sense. So I show people how to use simple ideas to create streams of income, to leverage that to 6 and 7 figures, and then I also publish books. We have, I think we've published over 1,000 authors to date, and a lot of them became bestsellers, Amazon bestsellers, locally, internationally. So that's another thing that I show, that you can take your story, you can take an idea, you can take your dissertation, you can take your business experiences, your personal experiences, even your posts that you've posted on social media. You can turn those into a book, right? Because the whole idea is you're supposed to be impacting people's life and leaving them better than they were when you found them. So that's what I do. I'm a mother of 2 adult children. I'm very proud of that because I was a teen mom. And if you don't know my story, you should go to my website to check out my story, joanwrightgood.com. But I was a teen mom, dropped out of high school, and not only did I think that I had no future, but those around me thought that that was the end. Okay, that's it. She's a product of her environment. You know, because growing up in the inner city, that's what happened to most girls.
Right.
They got pregnant early and that was it. But I was determined to not become a product of my environment, but to show people that just because you made a mistake, you're not a mistake. So that's who I am. I'm also in ministry. I do work a lot with women and teach them and biblical principles, because all of this, it hinges on biblical principles. It hinges on the fact that God is the foundation of everything that I do. So I help women to walk faithful lives, from a biblical perspective, because everybody who says they're Christians aren't Christians. You know, Christians
Say that again.
loosely used. So we're supposed to be end-time Christians who are using our gifts and our talents to impact the world, while we give God glory and we use what we have gained from it to make sure that we're supporting our families, we're supporting the kingdom, and we're leaving a legacy.
And I like how you end leaving a legacy. Yes, because we don't want to be on this earth and not leave a legacy. We got to leave a health legacy. Right now we're talking about wealth. We need to leave that wealth legacy. So Dr. WRIGHT-GOOD is here to tell us all about that. And so Joan, from your journey, I like to ask my guests, what supernatural elements happened along your journey from growing up in that inner city, coming to now as this powerhouse female, well accomplished in everything that you do? What supernatural elements can you touch on?
There are so many. I think my entire life has been one big ball of supernatural, miraculous encounters. First of all, at the age of 4, I was roaming the streets of Kingston and was picked up by the police and sent to Maxfield Park's Children's Home, right? Maxfield Park Children's Home. And again, during that time, I believe the consensus was I would be in the home forever. I would become a ward of the state and just stay there. However, I think a few months after, if not a year after, my mom stole me, right? Which is another miracle. We can't get into that story. But she stole me, and then because she did not want to get into trouble with the law, she sent me to Trelawney. So those of you who are from Jamaica, you know how far Trelawney is in proximity to Kingston. Well, now with all the highways, it's not so far. But back then, there were no highways. So we're talking about in the 70s. Okay? So there were no highways. So I was sent to Trelawney, almost in hiding. And spiritual, you see, everything, the Bible says that everything that the devil means for bad, God turns it around for our good. I was supposed to be in hiding in obscurity, but I was so smart when I started, because I wasn't going to school in Kingston, believe it or not. So my first encounter with school was in Trelawney at the age of about 6.
Wow.
And would you believe, with no training, with no formal pre-elementary education, I started going to Duncan's, I think it's called Duncan's All-Age, or Duncan's Primary, Duncan's All-Age School. The first year in school, I came second in my class, and then I came first, and it was just like that, you know,
You're naturally smart.
And so, being in Trelawney, I was supposed to be there in obscurity. I passed the common entrance at age 10 and started going to William Lim High School. And so I was there for an entire time. Still didn't know who my family was, because being there, I didn't have family visits. So I was just this kid who was erected from Kingston, dropped into this country life, and I'm supposed to exist. So all of that was a miraculous situation. Again, the devil came in. I was raped at the age of 11, and I started suffering from mental illness, because there was nobody to talk to.
Of course,
there
that's
was
traumatic.
And the only thing I knew then was school and church, because I was baptized at like age 7.
Okay.
So in the church, they thought I was demon possessed. So the only answer was to send me back to Kingston. And then again, my entire life, from then to dropping out of high school, to going through an abusive marriage, to a public divorce, to everything, has been a miraculous journey. All of it is supernatural. So even me sitting here today, I've escaped death so many times that I know that my life is for a purpose. And one of the purposes me sitting here today, because God saw and knew that we would connect and we would be sitting here today.
I totally agree with that, Joan, because we have been connected for almost over a decade, I think.
You were there when I started my business.
I was
Remember,
there at your first conference.
My business launch, and SUEN was one of my guests with probably, 10 other people? 10 people showed up. But they were also supportive, and I remember you and Alicia, y'all put me to the side and said, don't be discouraged, you know.
And it was awesome.
Right? But if you look at it, what if I had given up because only 10 people showed up?
Exactly.
That's the first point when you're building wealth.
Don't give up.
Just because the masses, or just because who you think should support you or should show up doesn't show up, it doesn't mean that you failed. It doesn't mean that you should stop because you got the vision they didn't.
Absolutely. And some people who you think should have shown up, they probably won't be the ones to show up. So you just have to keep moving.
Exactly.
Yes,
Because
yes.
I always say it's not who you sow into that will sow back to you. It's what you sow. So many times we get despondent because, you know, you're kind to Sue, you're kind to this, you're kind, and you're looking back for that kindness, and they're not the ones who are going to give you the kindness. But the kindness that you sow will come back to you from some other place. It's what the Bible says is what you sow, not who you sow to. So don't be frustrated when the people you expect the most to show up for you don't.
Yes, man, that needs to just keep that in your brain, everyone. It's what you sow, what you sow, not who you sow into. Okay, Dr. Wright, good. So as we move along here, I want to know about your superpowers. Along this amazing, incredible journey of yours, what is your superpower? What have you found that to be?
I have quite a few, all right? I have quite a few. Let's not talk about all the books. I'm a 10-time author,
Wow.
10-time author. I know we're going to talk about this last book.
Yes.
But one of my superpower is empowering other people. Educating people, inspiring people, motivating people, making sure that everything that God has put in me, has poured into me, that I pour that out. I really, really don't want to just talk the talk, but I want to walk the talk. So for me, my superpower is mirroring God and doing my best to have others mirror me through God. So when they see me, they don't see me, they see Christ. And that I do that in my writing, in my business.
Welcome back, everyone, to our Well session with Dr. Joan Wright-Good. And we are moving right along in the program. Dr. Wright-Good now will tell us some super tips that we can implement to become wealthier than we are right now.
All right, so I'll start with about 5 or 6. So the first thing I'll say is to make sure that you renew your mindset. Wealth is bigger than money. A lot of people have money, but they're not wealthy, right? So it starts in the mind. As a matter of fact, I like to say poverty and wealthy is in the same place. You have to know how to choose, right? The next thing I would say is to look at somebody who is wealthy, who is healed, who is whole, that you want to be like. Don't copy them, but look at the traits that got them to where they are, and you can make sure that you kind of you imitate without copying. All right. So what I mean by that is if they read a lot, read a lot. If they network, right? Look at what rich people do and do it. Don't look at what poor people do, because poor people, they think in the moment, right? They don't think futuristic. Okay. I would also say cut out some of the things that don't serve your purpose. What is your purpose? If your purpose is to help someone who is suffering with or suffering from a traumatic experience, right? Know how to stay away from TV, stay away from things that don't serve your purpose and people who don't serve your purpose, and find the things that do. The next thing I would say, find something that you're not only passionate about, but something that will sell. Because you can be passionate about a thing, but there's no market for it, okay? And you're not Steve Jobs, so you can't build it and they'll come. Find something that people will buy. So if you're passionate about hair, right? And if people are not buying hair, but people will buy hair care products, then it's the same passion. You're just turning it into something that people will buy. The next thing is you have to make sure that you understand your target market, right? Everybody won't buy what you're selling. So find the people who will. You're not called to everybody. You're called to a select few. Then when you find that select few, the thing that you have to learn how to use it, leverage it, and then use it to make more money. So make your money make more money before you start spending your money. What do I mean by that, right? What you do is when you make money, right, you find something else that you can do with the money. So I created a business, right? I started helping people to publish books. Then I also help people to start their own publishing companies. Then I also publish books. Then I started a marketing company. So you have to flip your money until you get to that 6- and 7-figure point before you start actually flossing. So those are some of the steps. If you need more steps, you know where to find me. I do business coaching and business mentorship. I'm on social media as Joan Wright Good. My website is Joan Wright Good, and my business website is businessstartupacademy.live.
Wow. Did you get all of those tips, Super Peeps? Don't worry, we will revisit those on our Instagram pages, on our Facebook, all our social media handles will have them. So you can come back and rewatch, okay? And before Dr. Wright Good goes, I just wanted you to touch on this book, The Miseducation of Widowhood. 10 things every wife should know about managing, coping, and dealing with the journey. This is her new book that is out now. It's powerful. Just give us a hint of what we can learn from there, especially in regards to wealth, since we're talking about that.
I did share in the book, and as a matter of fact, even though it says the miseducation of widowhood is really for every woman who plans on being in a relationship. It teaches you how to protect yourself financially. It teaches you how to make sure that you're asking the right questions, even before you get married. Do you know your partner's family well? Do you know their best friends? Do you know if they have life insurance? Do you get with her for life insurance? Do you know if they have a policy at work? A lot of people, wives, read the book and say to me, I didn't even know that my husband had a policy at work. And that policy, the children aren't on it, or the wife isn't on it. So ask the important questions. If something should happen to you, who should I go to? Who should I talk to?
Where are the documents?
Where are the documents? Do you have documents? Do you have a safe? The hard questions. It's good to talk about you're cute and, we're going to buy a yacht and all of that. That is not a solid relationship. So we need to start asking the right questions. So this book will help you to start the hard conversations.
Absolutely. And as she said, everyone out there, come talk to me if you need any kind of insurance, any kind of wealth building, estate planning, any kind of those services. I'm your girl. And we need to let that be something we do daily, we think about daily. This needs to be a part of our lifestyle, right?
And it's a part of our legacy. GoFundMe is not life insurance. It's not life insurance. We have to make sure we're leaving things for our children to be better people, and to help the world at large.
Absolutely. All right, Super Peeps. This comes to an end with our wealth session here with Dr. Wright Good. We are so happy she's in our super seat today. And she said, just tell them one more time where to reach you, Joan.
JoanWrightGood.com or businessstartupacademy.live, or here on Instagram at Joan Wright Good. And when you go to my Instagram page, you'll see all the other businesses that I do, the marketing company, the publishing company, and so many others.
Awesome. All right, as we close today, I just want everyone to take this all in and remember we need to be leaving legacies for our family, for our generations. It's a biblical principle. Let's leave that for them.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you have a story to share? Maybe an experience or information that can transform somebody's life? Maybe you want to grow your business by writing a book. JWG Publishing House has helped hundreds of authors to turn their dream into publishing reality. Publishing a book without the knowledge of the process can be very frustrating. Not to worry, our award-winning team will patiently walk you through the process, from idea to cover to the end product. And get this, you will own 100% of your royalties. We are the only authentic independent publisher you will ever need. So what are you waiting on? Call us today at 561-412-7772. We're waiting to serve you.